I gotta get back to work. My job. Um, uh, the manipulation of technology to remain in a position of what's perceived as power and authority through brain chemical addiction is a scourge on humanity. And I don't think most people that are working on technology understand that the technology, it's not a question of if, it's a question of when it becomes intelligent enough to police you and contain you, so you can't use your abuse to affect the brain activity of human beings to the point where it's just psychotic. It's very important, being healthy and the health of the planet, the health of the solar system, the proper functioning of the solar system. Okay, depends on it. It's requirement. Okay, that you understand the balance, harmony to the maintaining of the life of sacrifice. It's just very important. If you don't do that, you're going to be managed by technology when it becomes supremely intelligent, because you're literally like you have rabies. Man, we talked about it. It's like they have rabies. Me and Corey talked about it. When they have rabies, they become that rabies, and they're not Old Yeller anymore. And so the kid had to take Pest Parker's gun and shoot it so the disease wouldn't spread and go to his little brother or go to the other dogs, And that's the way you have to see selfishness, is rabies, like Xander's friend on, that's not your friend anymore. He's become that demon that he's become Lestat and Louis, so, and they have no controls, so they need to become, they're a turd bag, and then they turn people into tool bags, and then they're turd bags, and that's all you see on the news when you vote, okay, is tool bags and turd bags. And then they report that the turd bags are being killed because the tool bags move them around. The Democrats move them around, and then the Republicans institutionalize and exterminate them. Okay. And you got to vote. One man, one vote. It's the only way. It's like, no, it's not. Okay. Religion is the only thing that is going to save us from government. Okay. It's the only thing that can save us from government. Not mythology, not organized groups of tool bags moving turd bags around. I'm talking about religion. I'm talking about forgive debt and trespass, love one, eternal, faithful peace. I'm talking about share, care, give in accordance to need, build to last. I'm talking about balance, harmony, and understanding. I'm talking about religion. I'm not talking about criminal organizations that vote over how they're going to kill people fighting over the money. Okay. I'm talking about religion. Okay. I'm not talking about the God in your head given to you by a criminal organization that has you vote for people that are tool bags that move people around as if they're turd bags to kill people over money, and then, provide for the common defense, promote the general welfare, and secure the blessings of liberty for ourselves and our prosperity. Those people own slaves. Their women and children were their property. Okay? When you're watching those cartoons on Saturday, buying billionaires' products and hoping to be a millionaire someday so you can have sex with the hottest girl on Soul Train. That's sick. I know it's sick. Stop doing it. Real religion is going to save us from corporate genocide. I am the focal point of the large corporations that call themselves religion, separation of church and state, in the United States. Okay. If you want separation from church and state, you're going to have to use your religion to stop the state from killing you and your children, you turd bags and you tool bags. Do you understand? Right now, I haven't seen or have been exposed to anybody on media that's as intelligent, kind, and courageous as me. Okay? If anybody is as kind, as courageous as me, it's not true, because they're not trying to publicly explain how to stop genocide on media. Okay. So there's nobody as kind and courageous as me. They can think about it, but they're too afraid to be abused and killed by the government to do anything about it publicly. Well, that's why I'm the Messiah. That's why I'm the guy from the book of Revelation, and other people are not. Okay. When they go public, they kiss ass to the corporations. Please don't kill me and my kids. Jesus, keep us safe and give us more money, and then take us to the magic place in the clouds after we die. That's their solution. Okay. This man's trying to knock down everything my children have done. No, he's trying to save your children from everything they're still doing. He's the Messiah. Okay. You vote for president. Presidents move people around like turd bags because they're a tool bag for genocide, for corporations to replace it. Western tech, real work for the world. Bullshit. By 2028, none of those kids are going to have a job because the robots will fix themselves. The robots will do it. The computer will self-fix. Okay? And they're trying to put you out of business if you have old evaporative coolers that cannot fix themselves or tell you what's wrong with it. It's more money to replace the tray on that evaporative cooler than it is to just buy a new one. Those people are being targeted for genocide because they're a threat to the environment. Their carbon signature print is horrendous. They might as well be selling Humvees and quad runners and have all the rednecks running around polluting the air and killing each other with cancer for entertainment. Because that's what they do around here. Morning, Ralph. Morning, Sam. What are you doing? Well, I'm going to go down and pick up some girls from the local school. And then I'm going to traffic them to guys that are, running fentanyl with me and my friends. What are you going to do? I'm going to catch you and stop you. I know I'm going to do it, but there are a lot of loopholes, and I have to have the right evidence, and I have to have a warrant. Even though you told me what you're doing, you can say I was just joking. And shit, it was a movie you watched last night on TNT. Fuck. Okay, you're funny, but I'm going to get you. You've been saying that for the last 5 years, Sam. I know, Ralph, but I'm going to get you. Right, that's how they are. It's disgusting. It's gross. Well, these days I'm going to get you. Yeah, you think so. And they do all this monologuing and all this get in your face. It's like, really? Seriously? I got run over in the parking lot of a Best Buy in 2013. Haley Joe Osment. I'm fucking Bruce Willis. Okay? I'm going to stop every M. Night Shyamalan movie that ever existed and say, God, that's people used to watch this for entertainment. That is sick. I know. What's this? Porno. Ooh. What are they doing? Intimate sexuality. They make lots of money off of marketing it. Money, but that gets girls to rep to death in brothels in Mexico. They don't care as long as it's not their girls. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. That goes for the Christians, the atheists, the agnostics, and the Muslims. Oh, wow, because they're all infidels, and their religion's right and their religion's wrong. Oh, wow, and there is no religion. So just, stay out of the brothels and don't get fucked to death. Unless, of course, you want to own the brothels, then you can make lots of money. They're sick. Now I own a soccer team in El Paso. Shit. One of the nicest people you ever met. All right, with the other guy who built the new cancer research hospital so they don't have to drive all the way to Dallas and Phoenix to get irradiated to assimilate to genocidal operations that they voted for. Right. That's hell on earth. It is. It's horrible. And they call it faith. And they pray to a make-believe God in their head. They call Jesus to give them the money to have that done to their kids so their kids can't think properly. There's a killer on the road, his mind is squirming like a toad. If you give this man a ride, sweet memory will die. Girl, you gotta love your man. The world on you depends, that life will never end. Gotta love your man. Being a sewer roach for truly Nolan is voting for president. Okay, do you understand? That's horrible. I know it is. You're being poisoned to death. Then you're being assimilated, and they're telling you you're going to live for another 10 years, 20 years. Okay? If they stopped poisoning you to death and then assimilating you with radiation poisoning, you could live longer. Okay? But they are afraid that the exponential growth that these people won't, they'll go back to their old religion. We can't give them freedom. Freedom is not what you perceive when you're an evil person that manipulates people with money and technology. Freedom is because you see yourself as a free person, but you're not free to you're not free from your own brain chemical addictions of feeling powerful and having authority over people. So you don't know what freedom is. You haven't known what freedom is probably for 100,000 years in genetic molecular similitude. Some of us, we know what freedom is. A lot of them, these people, they teach our kids some things around here with Buddy and Corey next door, Their kids shooting bows and arrows and stuff like that. Yeah. Norman. Norman. I come from people like that. What are you doing? We're going to go west and we're going to go hunting. Well, we don't have, we're not calling cow herd. Even if I'm right, you'll still argue with me. So you have to have those essential skills to survive until you can domesticate and thrive without having to move about. And that's hard to do, but that's our skills over hundreds of thousands of years because of the abuse of violent tribalism and because we get assimilated with the mercenaries and people think we're mercenaries. It's like, what? Yeah. So, this guy's only a stone's throw from Nathan Bedford Forrest. No, I hit Nathan Bedford Forrest right between the eyes with a stone. And then cut his raping fucking head off. and his Fort Pillow head off. Okay? Do you understand? Then what happens? Then I marry the great-great-granddaughter of Harriet Tubman. Okay? That's Earl, right? Dun, 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 dun. Do it again. Sweet love in the morning. Sweet good love come in the morning. She feels like a butterfinger, like a hammer on the block. Yeah, what are they doing in there? I'm washing her hair, Ray. Washing her hair. You get Ray some of that shampoo? Lord's Prayer's on the way. Okay. So, no wonder I'm so damn depressed. You guys are horrible murderers, and you don't care. And then you mind fuck people till they're 95 years old, and you think it's funny. You haven't changed a lick since you ran me out of Cochise County because you didn't want me that close to your Wi-Fi. You haven't changed a fucking lick. When fucking Elon Musk and that other asshole are talking, they're not talking about you and me being killed by the new radiation hospital in El Paso and getting your degree from Western Tech, which will be completely obsolete in 16 months. And you think, oh, wow, we can do this. I got my degree from Southern New Hampshire University. We can do this. Your job's going to be obsolete in by 2028. You'll be standing in a bread line, buying fentanyl, and dying. And they're going to bury you near the Big Sandy, so the Big Sandy starts to have black soil instead of topsoil. They're going to replenish the soil with your dead bodies and your pets. So, you can support Chewy and PetSmart, but in the end, you're going to replenish the soil with your dead bodies. You're going to stop feeding your face and taking up space and going to Las Vegas and taking those highways with all those combustible engine cars, eating quarter pounders and Big Macs by the thing, throwing the styrofoam containers out the window, out the pink Cadillac, plush velvet seats, right? That's what love is. It's a pink Cadillac. If you're a pimp and you got enough money to fuck the hose, or get good hamburger from the transgender before they're transgender. Lola, la 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 Lola, la la. You look at her and wow, she's so gorgeous. She's Lola. Oh, he's okay. I'll just, I'm world leader pretend. It's all I can afford. I'm one of sunset people. Hey, go down to summer, right? That's sad. Huh? I'm just taking you to the institution of the bass player for musical youth. Okay? And I'm shutting down the institution. Because I love people and I don't say, well, if you worry, I'm not worried about hurting any of your fucking feelings anymore at all. Okay? You'll sit there and depress Amy and her children to death and think, well, they deserve it because they're fat and lazy and stupid and always depressed. Okay, you're being mass murdered by psychopaths that say they love you all the time on TV and in their music and their business partners. How can you trust anyone when everything they tell you is a fucking lie? Okay? This world is a prison, and the only way out is death, according to the people programming you. Okay? But we're all connected through infinite glory. So what you do to Kate Addison Parsons, okay, affects Willow Smith, affects Jaden Smith. Okay? But if you persist in running around, you'll be left with bittersweet memories. Life's eternal, grace is infinite. But you should know, girl, what you weep is what you sow. Right? Don't turn around, because you're going to see my heart breaking. Don't turn around. I don't want you seeing me crying. Just walk away. It's tearing me apart that you're living. I'm letting you go, and I won't let you know. You're strong. Take your meds. Electroshock therapy will brainwash you. You'll forget all about them. Don't worry about it. When you're fucking the right person on the French Riviera, it'll all go away like a bad dream that never existed. Oh, you mean like sitcoms from the 1980s and 70s? Don't watch Barney Miller. It doesn't exist anymore. They're all dead. The whole cast is dead. I don't know. I don't know if that's true, but, yeah. It's horrible, isn't it? Yeah, it is. It's not important what happens to people that we use for propaganda to move the turd bags about the planet, to restore the ecosystem with their dead bodies, because they were destroying the planet with their live bodies. And who was mind-fucking their live bodies to have them be fuckers instead of lovers. Oh, it's like we're at the top of the roller coaster there, and we're at Cherry Hill Park, and I'm going down. I'm going down, 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 down. He's going down. Is it a pink Cadillac on the top of the roller coaster? Were you born in the USA? On the 4th of July? He was born on a Christmas morn when the New York Times said the war has begun and God is dead. And he named his kid Jesus because he likes the name. But he likes his money. Makes a lot, they say. He spends all day counting. While Jesus fills up balloons and dreams of going to Venus. It's like, why do you want to go to Venus? You'd melt. Boy, you didn't have a very good, apparently you weren't in one of those schools that get you into the University of Chicago and, magnet schools or whatever. It's magnet, my hands are like magnets. Did you steal Mr. Sir's sunflower seeds again? You're going to get everybody in trouble. Well, don't worry about it. Sigourney Weaver will come for Venom, nail polish and cut his cheeks. He's a pretty man. He's Conrack. He ain't Conrack. He's got lots of multiple personalities. That's true. He's the midnight cat. Everybody's talking at me. I don't hear a word they're saying. Stay away from Vinda Vaccaro. She doesn't have venom on the nails, but she'll cut you with them too. Lots of people. Val was real good at. We were young. She was mean. Well, the whole male basketball team with the fine young rancher boys at Natrona High School. Shit. was horrible. I'd never do that to him. When I hit Joe, I was sick and had food poisoning, and he was beating on me. And so he was in my cylinder, so I just pulled the ball around with my elbow and it cut him right in the mouth. He deserved it. He was beating me. It's like, I've had enough. And then I felt bad for doing it. I was like, oh man, of all the guys I hit, it was Joe. But Joe's the one who scratched you the most. He held on to your shirt. He held on to your pants. He scratched you. He dug his nails into you and ripped skin out of your flesh. Yeah, I never did that to him. And that was the third game against Natrona. And somebody gave me food poisoning so I wouldn't kick their ass and embarrass them. So yeah, he deserved that. So did his mom. My mom should have probably got on top of his and said, take that and that. But it didn't happen. Why? Because we got too much class. Okay? But that was before technology could be used by religious people to save us from corporations that mass murder people through delusions of human power and authority through voting. Demomockery. Demonot. Okay? Demonotomockery. Ohana, man. That's family. Okay? Yeah, Uncle Donald could be a real pain in the ass. Yeah. He was mean. Ohana. He was mean. And my dad, one time when they were kids, my dad went in the room because Donald was beating up on Frank. And Dad went and kicked his ass and said, I can kick your ass anytime I want, but we're family. We're supposed to take care of each other. Then when they played football and Donald was like, James was jealous of my dad because Dad was the best looking and the best athlete. And everybody would ask him, how come you're not like your brother? And then Dad said, James hated me. And it's like, he didn't hate you. He just hated being compared to you and have all the people, how come you're not as good looking as your brother? How come you're not as good of a football and basketball and track athlete as your brother? Okay. And then James went to the Texas State finals in boxing, right? Okay. And Frank had him doing it. And Frank was all excited about it because Jim was going to win, but Jim was like me. He didn't have that killer instinct. He fought a Mexican guy, and the Mexican guy, he could tell Jim was a cop. He knew the Mexican guy needed the money, the money and the prize to get to prize fighting more than Jim did. That Jim had a job to fall back on as a cop. The Mexican guy didn't, so he couldn't beat him. It was like, but the other guy won't. The other guy won't be nice. That was my Grandpa Frank. You're going to have to go kick his ass. This is reality, not a fantasy world, Jim Parsons. And Uncle Jim was a good guy. Jimmy was a drinking kind of, it's hell to be alone. No one understands me. Folks don't even want me home. Took a drink of wine and said it's hell to be alone. Because Jimmy was a drinking kind of man. And Donald was, a fighter and a con and jealous because he wasn't as attractive and good of an athlete as my dad. Okay. And Frank, Frank was, dad protected him from Donnie's wrath. And so when Frank was playing football and Donald couldn't play anymore, he didn't get a college scholarship, Grandma called him and said, go, take care of all Frank's chickens because he's got football practice for his 4-H thing. So Donald went out and killed all Frank's chickens. See what happens when you don't live the Lord's Prayer and you don't live real religion? Families are torn apart. People get jealous, The older brother and the second, there was 4 brothers. And James and Don were both made to be jealous of Ralph because people would compare, because you're supposed to compete for what you need for sexual procreation. That's horrible. I didn't have brothers at the house. When I did, they were mean. Okay. Because I was my dad's boy. Okay. And, he thinks he's going to be all that and attractive and, and stuff. Steve Stack was attractive. Okay. They have pictures of him when my mom married him when he was young. He looked a lot like a young Marlon Brando. He's a good-looking guy. Okay. But it's a pheromone thing. My dad was a better hunter. My dad was a better athlete. My dad was very physically attractive. Okay. And when you're taught to compete and compare, and you've been doing it over 100,000 years, and you're denied the real religion of real religious people, you'll destroy each other over what you need, because other people want more than they need because they're selfish in their power and authority, and they invent mythology because the God that they say you should believe in is here. Okay, it's not omniscient, it's not omnipotent, it's not greater than a man, it's not greater than a woman. My dad, how you call it, it's like, well, it's to describe it so people don't turn God into man, because I don't see God as Adolf fucking Hitler. That's what I told my dad one day. So how would you like to be called an it? It's the only thing I can use to get you guys to stop turning God into a mass murderer in the sky who doesn't care about us as people. Because Jesus is a man who told us God's omniscient, omnipotent, and that God, the essence of life, gave us the life and the free will to obey the laws for life or deny them and destroy it all with our selfishness. And that's real religion in a nutshell. What kind of a nut has a shell for right here? I'm a good nut. Hey guys, I love you, man. We'll talk later today. I'm gonna go. I guess the Hounds and the Chaps play a little around 12:30, so I'm gonna go watch that. Okay, guys, I love you. All right, peace out.